Good morning and welcome to this meeting of the Culture Regeneration Economic Development Portfolio. I'm Councillor Steve Pitt, Leader of the Council and also the Cabinet Member for Culture Regeneration Economic Development. If the continuous fire alarm sounds, please evacuate the room and public gallery by the stairwells, not attempt to use the lifts, and please assemble at Queen Victoria's statue. In order to comply with the Guildhall Trust Fire Marshal regulations, anyone who signed in at the Guildhall reception desk should sign out when leaving the building at the end of today's meeting. Everyone speaking via a microphone will be recorded and broadcast on the website, including anyone making deputation. Members of the press and public are also permitted to record the meeting on the understanding it neither disrupts the meeting nor records those explicitly stating that they do not wish to be recorded. Please can everyone use the microphones? Remember to switch them off when they have finished. We'll start with some introductions around the table, starting with Lisa.
Good morning, Lisa Gallagher from Democratic Services.
Good morning, Claire Looney, Partnership and Commissioning Manager.
Good morning, Dougie Scarf, Chief Executive, Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra.
Thanks, Dougie. Cathy?
Good morning, Cathy Hakes, Head of Museums.
Good morning, Jennifer Macy, Historic Environment Record Officer.
Morning, Claire Liddell, Service Development Manager for Libraries and Archives.
Harry Scott, Seafront Arts Programme Officer.
And last but definitely by no means least,
Mary Vallely, Cosham and Wimmering.
Welcome, Mary, and welcome, officers. Okay, we have apologies today for absence from Councillor Matthew Cordy. There are no declarations from me. Mary, anything? No, nothing from Councillor Vallely either. Which takes us to item 3 on the agenda this morning, which is the Museum Service Accreditation Process. And Cathy, you're introducing the report.
Thank you, Leader. So the purpose of this report is to seek approval of the Museum Service Forward Plan and policies that we require for museum accreditation. The accreditation standard is a handbook for running a successful and forward-looking museum. It's run as a partnership between Arts Council England, Museum Gallery Scotland, Northern Ireland Museum Council and the Welsh Government, and it links directly to Spectrum, the UK Collections Management Standard and the Museum Association Code of Ethics. The requirements cover organisational health, collections and users and their experience. Gaining accreditation is an endorsement and it shows that our organisation is a professionally run, sustainable and trustworthy, and achieving accreditation can help us with advocacy, accountability and also assessment and feedback from the accreditation panel. The Museum Service last submitted documents to the accreditation scheme in 2016, so they are due an update and we are required to submit to maintain accreditation this August. The museum team have created and updated policies, and these policies require approval by committee before we can submit to the accreditation panel. So there are 5 policies, a forward plan and policies attached. So reasons for the recommendation. Accreditation is an extremely important standard for us to demonstrate we are running the museum service competently and keeping standards high. And also most grant funding is not available to unaccredited museums, and collections and loans, such as our recent loan from the British Museum, would generally not be possible. So thank you. So the policies and the forward plan are attached.
Thank you, Cathy. Mary, comments or questions?
I don't have any questions. I think they're all good. Go for it, yeah.
Yeah, really important piece of work, and especially in the incredibly competitive funding environment we're in at the moment. If we're going to attract more investment into the city, this is an essential part of that. But also, we're very proud of our museum service, and it deserves that accreditation, and we hope it goes through the process. So nothing further from me, and happy to accept the recommendations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, that takes us to item 4, which is the Historic Environment Record Policy Documents, and Jennifer, you're presenting.
Thank you. The purpose of the report is to introduce and seek approval for 3 new historic environment record policies. These are attached as appendices 1 to 3. The recommendation is that the policies be approved. Just to give a little bit of background about the historic environment record, it's the primary source of information relating to the historic environment for the City of Portsmouth. This includes archaeology, historic buildings and structures, historic parks and gardens, monuments, memorials, buried remains, earthworks and other historic sites, including those only known from documentary sources. The HER is a database with digital mapping integrated into it, and in addition to this, it also holds supporting reference material in the form of items such as unpublished archaeological reports and source files that have been created by the HER. This data is accessed by a wide variety of users, including planners, developers, and archaeologists working on development control work, and it is a requirement of the National Planning Policy Framework to consult the HER for this type of work. It's also accessed for academic research at all levels, local groups and societies, and the general public for general interest. Historic England issue guidance for managing HERs, and this is in line with accepted best practice and national standards. This includes creating a number of policies and plans which should be regularly reviewed. The HER is a participant in the Historic England National HER Audit Programme, and our audit in 2022 identified the need for the 3 new policies: an access and charging, recording and information services policy, and these were included as key tasks in our 5-year action plan. The policy documents have been drafted using templates provided by Historic England to HERs, and the reasons for the recommendations are that corporate approval will allow us to meet the national requirements for best practice, and it will also enable us to complete 3 key tasks on our action plan. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much. Mary, anything?
Nothing to add. It's important to have her. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Important piece of process that needs to happen, and thank you for all the work on this. So the recommendation is that the HER policies be approved, and they are so approved. Thank you very much. Item 5, Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra. And Dougie, you've got a deputation before Claire presents the report.
Leader, councillors, thank you for allowing me to make a deputation today. Much appreciated. I want to take this opportunity to thank Portsmouth City Council through this meeting for the ongoing support of the BSO. We're proud of the history of the BSO in the city, which dates back nearly 100 years, with many important and memorable occasions from when Queen Elizabeth II reopened this building in 1959 through to our support of key D-Day commemorations over the years. We're also proud that Portsmouth City Council has invested in music through the BSO for over 60 years. I also want to thank Claire Looney for all her work to communicate our work to you as the council and her preparation of the paper. For those of you who don't know us, BSO exists to bring music into people's lives, and through the power of music, we aim to make the world a happier, healthier and fairer place. That is our mission, and our funded remit through Arts Council covers 10,000 square miles of the south and southwest of England. The paper sets out some of the ways in which our work seeks to foster cultural engagement, creativity, opportunity and well-being in our communities, all of which help to celebrate place. Some of the things, Leader, which I would wish to highlight. BSO brings world-class musicians from the UK and across the world to Portsmouth each year. Ticket prices are accessible. Last season, the range was £19 to £31 for a full evening concert with concessions, probably the most accessible UK pricing for this quality of music. Under 18s only pay £1 through our Kids for a Quid initiative. Hundreds of Portsmouth school children come together each year to experience the awesome sound of a symphony orchestra in our free schools concerts. Also for many, it's their first time in a concert hall, showing them, helping them understand that this place is for them as well as the old people. The children don't just experience, they take part in singing, body percussion, and it's fully inclusive because we teach everyone Makaton signing. We provide comprehensive CPD resource films online to help teachers, many of whom, as we know these days, are non-music specialists, to prepare the children for getting the most from the concert. As well as live performances, BSO's sector-leading digital concerts help isolated members of our communities to still come together for a shared live experience of amazing music. You might like to know that our online audience is 50% more likely to be disabled than our in-hall audience. It truly is, these concerts are a lifeline for those people. I'm sure councillors were proud to see the mass bands of the Royal Marines perform at the FA Cup final. Possibly not as proud as if Pompey had been there. But what you might not know is that every single drummer who led the band, the mass bands out, is taught by the BSO. 70% of the musicians in the Royal Marines Band Portsmouth are taught, mentored and looked after by members of the BSO. We're excited to bring the full BSO into Guildhall Square. You will hear us from the council buildings in a couple of weeks' time. Film music programme and ABBA. And we're also working very hard to develop further relationships with the university. Fundamentally, I do want to say we understand the enormous financial pressure facing local government. We really do. And we're humbly grateful to PCC for that you continue to invest in us. Whilst we know that the grant has reduced in real terms by about 65% since 2010, it remains vital to our work as your support helps us secure investment from Arts Council England and enables BSO to leverage significant funds through fundraising, £1.6 million we raised last year. For example, we can only continue to invest as much in our schools concert programme due to a 5-year grant from a major trust. Your support enabled us to help leverage that funds. Why do we think performing is so important? Well, I'll leave you with the words of our audience. Sound.
I'm just going to pause it because the sound was working earlier. Should we try again, Lisa?
No. It's your sound is off. Okay. Yeah, no, do it. Yeah, there we go.
When I kind of first sat down, I was a bit like, oh, you know, interested to see what it was going to be like. But yeah, from the second it all kind of builds up to that first crescendo, it's crazy, really. And so like you say, the emotion that it kind of invokes, and it makes you feel things that you didn't know you could feel, you know.
It was quite big, especially just the opening theme tune. And I was like, this is actually being played in front of my eyes. It's not just like, it's not just a recording. It's like, this is being played. It was just really awesome.
Yeah, I think, again, it's just the nostalgia for me, really. Growing up watching these films and listening to the music, it's just been a big part of my life.
I think it's also like your memories, childhood as well. You
Nostalgia.
yeah, you get like move back in the past and think about your memories when you were a child.
Yeah, definitely. I think the most magical music ever. Yeah.
Our main music is kind of heavy metal type stuff, but I've been into classical for several years, and it's just out of this world. Classical music is.
Heavy metal.
We think it's the heavy metal of its time. The emotion, the energy, the noise. It's just, we love it.
And when we saw the crowds, we thought, perhaps we're at the wrong concert. We've never seen it like that in 20, 30 years. So it's fantastic. It's like a party atmosphere. It's wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dougie. Oh, I thought we were going to go another film then. We could watch 9 episodes of it. It'd be just like Star Wars. Mary, comments, questions?
I'll be perfectly honest. I am a new convert to the Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra, and that's thanks to getting this job and finding out from Claire how much community engagement you do. It's fantastic, and thank you.
Cool. Claire, is there anything you wanted to add? I think Dougie's done a pretty good job, but.
No, thank you. I think the report summarises a lot of the core facts and figures behind it. The fact that this actual building has such a longevity and relationship with the orchestra, and I think what it does in this city is significant. And as Councillor Valley has referenced, there's a lot of other activity going on outside of the concert hall, and it's been helpful to bring this paper forward to help demonstrate and illustrate that. Thank you.
Yes, and the background to this was that a previous opposition spokesperson said that they didn't know what went on, so we thought, well, okay, well, let's bring it forward and shine a light on it. And it was a good thing to do, actually, because I think it has drawn attention to the breadth and depth of what you deliver with and for us, and it is hugely appreciated. And I will be at one of the concerts in the square in August. I'm not going to say which one, so guests are listening online are wondering whether I'm an ABBA fan or whether it's film music that floats my boat. But I'll definitely be at one of them, and if anyone is listening online, get some tickets and come along. It's going to be a great occasion to be able to use Guildhall Square for that purpose, something we haven't done for a long time. Great to see Joker Squad engaged with the Star Wars reenactment stuff. I directed a play some months ago about a Wookiee impersonator, so I am a bit of a fan myself. So thank you, and please can you make sure, Dougie, that our thanks are passed back to the board, and that they're fully aware of the appreciation of the relationship and our commitment to it.
And that means a lot. Thank you very much, Councillor. Thanks, Leader. Thank you.
Okay, so the report was for noting, so it is duly noted. And the recommendation as worded is fine to go into the minutes. I actually didn't know about the Royal Marine School of Music connection, and since I think that they are the greatest band in the world, I'm massively impressed.
So when you watch the orchestra and you see the extraordinary cymbal player we have, who is, shall we say, a full person, he was a Marine. So he was a Marine, served active duty, incredibly proud of his role as a Marine, and is passionate about enabling the Marine bands here to have world-class teaching and help. And actually the conductors of the bands are now able to work with our new chief conductor, Mark Wheelsworth, to give them sort of understanding and training. So it's it's something we're really proud of, and we'd like to do more.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Don't feel you've got to stick around if you need to be elsewhere, and likewise anyone that's already presented, if you need to leave and you've got other things to be doing, then that's fine. Item 6, Southsea Castle corporate events and wedding charges. Back to Claire Looney.
Councillor Pitt, thank you very much. This paper seeks to bring approval for future charges for weddings and corporate events taking place at Southsea Castle. As I'm sure members will appreciate, the wedding market tends to have a much more forward planning process than many of our other aspects of event organisation, and we would like to ensure that we're able to quote prices to attract in weddings and events into the castle into the future. This paper seeks to outline the proposed charges from 2025-26 onwards and up to 2028-29, because the wedding market is sort of working in that longevity. We're looking always to make sure that we're offering the best value for money. A benchmarking exercise has taken place to ensure that we're pretty much midpoint for what we think is an exceptionally good venue. If you do have a dream of being a princess wanting to marry in a castle, Southsea Castle is the place you can do it at a reasonable cost, I would say. The new marquee investment that we've made into the structure or into the building also enables us to look at a new winter market. Previously that wasn't possible, so we're optimistic that we'll be able to host and support some of the corporate events that happen in that winter Christmas season. I'm very happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. And I was talking to two friends of mine who would be two princes getting married in Southsea Castle, so it applies to both ways. Mary, any comments or questions?
It all seems perfectly fair to me. No problem. Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much. It's really important that we do benchmark to the market, and we do that, and I think our offer is significantly better than actually, so I think it is excellent value, and therefore for that reason I am very happy to accept the recommendation in the report. Okay, item 7 is the Arts and Humanities Research Council Update Information Report, and presenting is Kathy on this one.
Yeah, thank you, Leader. So this report is for information only. As you mentioned, an update on the AHRC Collaborative Doctoral Partnership Programme. So in 2023, a decision report was brought before this committee to confirm commitment with this programme, and the bid was supported by the University of Portsmouth as a collaborative effort between the Council and the University, in support of its commitment to civic engagement. The programme was previously run under the British Museum, and it's now managed by the Victoria and Albert Museum on behalf of the AHRC. So every year in September, a call for interest in the programme is issued. Academics submit expressions of interests, and then full proposals are drawn up, which are then shortlisted by a panel comprising the Director of Culture, Head of Libraries, Head of Museums, and a representative from the community, and also an external representative from one of the museums. So the first 3 students are well ingrained in their PhDs, and the 3 successful projects that are proceeding initially were designing interactions with natural history, so that's working with our curator of natural history, and that project's going well. The student has just advertised some workshops she's running about designing museums, so that's just bringing a lot of interest into the museum as well. The second one was Social Life of a War Relic, so that's working with our curator of military history at the D-Day story, and that student's well embedded into our team. She was certainly in the office quite a lot over the last few months working with our team. And the third project is the one working with the libraries, contested space or space for contestation, so the change in role of public libraries, and that one's working with the library team. So last year, Portsmouth Museums hosted the national programme to the city, so we had around 20 delegates from the programme from all over the country came to Portsmouth, and we hosted them at the D-Day store in the Portsmouth Museum, and the night before we hosted the executive committee at the Charles Dickens Birthplace Museum. So they had a great day, and yeah, it was just very positive networking for us. So from our perspective, the benefit of the studentships are the engagement does bring fresh perspective to the collections. It has linked us in with a wide national network of museums as well, which is really positive, and academics. And the students themselves, it's a tremendous opportunity for them because it's all about employability, not just doing a PhD, but it's about how they can come out of that research and actually be employable in the current situation in heritage and the competitiveness that there is there. So the student assigned to the Library and Archive Service has been working there with the team, and the topics for the library service have not been looked at before and will bring new research to Portsmouth. The students are supported by small grants of up to £500 a year, which comes from our museums or libraries budget, in addition to the university partners who also support them with an expenses budget. The projects that are due to start this October are Portsmouth Central Library, Architect's Folly or Brutalist Masterpiece, Portsmouth 100, so associated with Portsmouth 100, Revoicing the Archive, using archive material to develop into new film in co-production with community groups to address underrepresented voices in the archive. And the third project is working with the museum team to reimagine Charles Dickens' birthplace, imagining modern audiences through participatory practice and digital technology. The next round of EOIs will be submitted in the autumn, and those are just about to be advertised to our academic partners. So moving forward, we're continuing to work on equality, diversity and inclusion, and working up a plan there to ensure that when we do recruit students that we are doing it in the most inclusive way possible. This programme is a really positive thing and is key to continued relationships with the Arts Council, the NHLF and Historic England. It does demonstrate our commitment towards cultural placemaking, addressing socio-economic challenges in the city and raising the profile of the city in the cultural and creative sector.
Thanks, Cathy. Mary, questions or comments?
Exciting stuff, really. Just want to know, I'm being facetious, but how can a war relic, which is an inanimate object, have a social life when I don't?
I don't think that was a question necessarily looking for an answer.
I don't know how to comment.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean it's been a very useful. The last comments that you made there, Cathy, I think were the key thing. It is all part of the tapestry that shows our commitment around culture and creativity in the city, and academic investigations as part of that are really crucial. So it's going to be interesting to see the next round when we reach out beyond Portsmouth University to others and see that develop and see how those relationships grow. There was a comment that the involvement by council officers has been greater than perhaps was originally anticipated. How is that working?
Yes, it is a commitment, a time commitment. It's recommended that the officers spend no more than 5% of their time. However, we start to do more projects. There's only a limited amount of the officers, so that could be taken up 10% of their time, and we have to evaluate that in the greater scheme of things. So we're trying very hard to make sure it's fair and certain officers aren't burdened with too many projects, but also making sure the projects are beneficial for us. That's really key to the whole scheme. That we get something out of it. So we get an exhibition, or we get work, or some sort of output.
Excellent. Okay, thanks very much. So it was a noting report only, so noted. Moving to item 8 on the agenda, the Seafront Arts Programme information report. Over to Harry.
Yeah, this is an information report on the progress of the arts programme so far. The big headline was that we were successful in £62,000 grant funding application to the Arts Council, which is going to support, or has already started to support, commissions for artwork on the seafront, as well as some engagement activity, including some workshops and some films made to give context around the programme. In terms of the programme delivery, so the things that are already up and running are the windbreaks. So we've had our second exhibition is just about to come to a close. That's artists Alana Light and Maria Della Garrido, two photographers, and we had a painter before. All three have been really glowing about the experience of having their work on display on the seafront. And we've had some lovely feedback, which I included from our first artist there. The Windbreaks is supported by a £10,000 sponsorship, which has come from VSBW, who are working on the coastal scheme. The Theatre of the Sea poem launched back in April, and we've had really, really positive response to that. To support that project, Simon Armitage also hosted an event for local GCSE students at the New Theatre Royal. Portsmouth Markers by John Main, his new sculpture was unveiled very recently. That had a very good response too, was featured on the BBC News website. The poem was featured on ITV News as well, so we've had some really positive coverage about it. Things that are in motion, with the Southsea Castle Lighthouse project, which we're working with an artist to do an installation on the dormant lighthouse. Since submitting this report, I'm happy to report that we have had scheduled monument consent approved for the project. So we're now going through the planning application process. That's our next hurdle. And then things that are also going on, other commissions, the largest one being the Centenary Place Commission. That will be launched at the beginning of next year as part of the centenary celebrations. Some artist proposals will go out to the public to gather feedback, and then a final piece will be chosen after that consultation process is completed, with the aim to have it installed by the end of the year. Thank you. Any questions?
Mary, anything?
None from me, but just to say, you know, the art down the seafront's fantastic. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Harry.
Yeah, I love the feedback from Emily for her experiences of the first installation, and you know that's what it's all about. It's about getting people's artistic output in a very public place with huge high footfall, but also and therefore engaging with people who might not be prepared to take the leap and step into an art gallery, but maybe by engaging with art in that way they might choose to. So it's all part of the accessibility programme that we've been pushing. Very excited to see what eventually develops for Centenary Place Square, whatever we end up calling it, towards the end of the centenary year. And very excited to see the art installation on the lighthouse still to come. So some exciting things in train and more to come, and the positive coverage that we've been getting and feedback from people is really encouraging. And I wait to see what your next ideas are, Harry, as you develop them with the panel.
And can I just say, it adds into the raising aspirations of young people and older people in this city. Most important.
Yeah, I was with the Duisburg delegation at Southsea Castle last Sunday, and before I made a sort of attempt at a speech in German, we went up on the ramparts and looked out over the sea defences, and people were clearly impressed. And I understand they had a very good visit the following day as part of their tour, and the sonnet by Simon Armitage was particularly well received. So, yeah, all grist to our mill, and long may it continue. So thank you very much, and thanks for bringing the update. That brings us now to item 9 on the agenda, which is the Portsmouth Book Fest 2025. Claire, over to you.
Thank you. So this is an update report on the promotion, delivery and evaluation of Portsmouth Book Fest 2025. It was the 15th annual festival, and it took place in February and March. It took place across a wide range of locations in the city, from Paulsgrove in the north to Southsea. Most events were offered in person, with a small selection of events offered online. We found that attendance at most events was high, and audience satisfaction with events was also high, with many enjoying the range of events and the opportunity to hear speakers on a wide range of subjects. We started with a Children's Week during half term, where we offered various events, including the Tiger Who Came to Tea parties, offered at almost all the libraries, from Paulsgrove and Caution to Southsea and Portsea. Interactive storytelling through puppetry was a great hit, and for the first year we worked in partnership with the University of Portsmouth Library, who offered zine making workshops for children and families, with the aim of highlighting their outside-in books and translation collection. The adults programme was for 2 weeks, and we offered a wide range of events there. It was noted that events about history and politics sold particularly well, with Sir Vernon Bogdanall's talk on 6 politicians being the highest selling event this year, closely followed by Behind the Scenes at Who Do You Think You Are and Historic Building Myth Busting. We're also delighted to welcome well-known comedian Helen Lederer. We are increasingly finding that audiences appear to be drawn more towards themed events or discussions on topical subjects, so this is something we'll continue to explore. We're pleased to continue to promote a local authors strand, so we offered local authors the opportunity to run writing workshops, and our annual local authors fair at Southsea Library on the last Friday of the festival. Writing workshops continue to be an enormously popular element of the festival, and we were really pleased to work with Victoria Park this year in their lovely new community space. We have found that online events were less popular this year, and that's something we'll just continue to monitor and look at. We used We Got Tickets again for ticket sales, which worked really well for us. It's a platform that customers find very, very straightforward to use. To continue to keep the festival as accessible as possible to low-income households, we offered a leisure card holders discount on many of the events, with 131 people taking up that offer. In terms of audience demographics, we recognised that we weren't very good at getting completed evaluation forms this year, so that's something we're working on, and we've been discussing ideas for getting better feedback at the events themselves while people are there. But in terms of the feedback we did have, we found that 66% of respondents came from PO1 to PO6 area, which is similar to previous years and shows that Bookfest continues to be very much a local book festival. But it was interesting to note that 17% of audiences came from beyond the PO postcode area. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Really good update. Mary, anything?
Just to say well done. Yeah, really good. Thank you.
Thank
Cool.
you.
And obviously next year being the centenary of the city, we're looking to shine an even brighter light on Bookfest. I am a bit of a fan of it, and yes, the more people we can encourage to participate, the better. I guess the online thing is just as people have got, as we move further away from COVID, people are more used to attending online in-person events again, so there's less demand.
Yeah.
So it's actually a good thing.
Yeah, which is a good thing. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you very much for bringing the report. Good to get an update, and as I say, we'll look forward to 2026.
Yeah, thank you.
That concludes today's meeting. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you to everyone who's presented, and thank you to everyone who joined us online.